What's up, YouTube? Before I get into this awesome video, I want y'all to subscribe, comment, and give this video a 5-star. Wait, what? 5-star rating is outdated? They updated it to thumbs up, thumbs down? And talking to someone off screen is also outdated? Wait, what year is this? 2024? Then why did I get a hate comment that looked like it came from 2010? What hate comment was it again? Oh, yeah. Let me explain. So I got a hate comment about my last video when I said Batman would have the Robins 2 years each, right? However, the person responding to this video says that doesn't make sense. Robins were 10 years apart. That wasn't my point. My point was Batman would have each Robin 2 years each. I didn't say anything about the age. I didn't say anything like that. So that didn't really make sense. So I did the math on that, saying if each Robin was 10 years apart, that means Dick Grayson would be 50. Jason Todd would be 40. Tim Drake would be 30. The female Robin, of course, in between that would be 20. And then Damien Wayne would be 10. So you're expecting 50-year-old still be in the family from I think Batman would be 70 at that point, because Batman would be have to have been an adult when Dick Grayson was 10. So he would be 20 years older then. 20 years from 50 is 70. So you want Batman to be 70 at that point. Here's my thought. When I said Batman would have each Robin 2 years, here's the order. Batman would be trained a lot ever since he was a little kid. And then he would start being kind of like a Batman kind of thing since from 15 to 18. Right? He would be saving small crimes, right? And then in 18, of course, because he's rich, he travels the world, right? And then he finds and meets Talia al Ghul, and then makes a baby with Talia al Ghul when he's 18, legal and all that, right? And then 19 and so on, he would be tired of being alone and fighting crime by himself, so he finds a kid, like 19. He adopts a kid, 10 years old. So he's like 10. So he's like a few years older than the kid, 10 years old to 19. And then he would train him for a year, really harshly train him. And then the second year, Batman's 20, and Dick Grayson would be 11. And then the first year, that's his first test. He's gonna fight some crime in the beginning, right? And then the next year, Batman's 21, Dick Grayson is 12. Second year, he's like really hardcore and doing fighting really, really hard crimes, like really tough bad guys. And then in that year, he's contemplating of Batman has trained me very well, and I want to train other teenagers to do to fight crime with me. So I need to leave to find my own team. He, but in that process, Batman knows that Dick Grayson wants to leave and find his own thing, so he finds another Robin, Jason Todd. But Jason Todd is like gruff and like really tough and doesn't care, right? So they need to make him nicer. He gets the thing. He trains him. He's 10, right? Dick Grayson 12, but he trains him hard, and then next year would be Jason Todd being 11, and then Dick Grayson being 13, and then in that year he leaves for the Teen Titans, and then builds a team up for them. So he's out. He's no longer Robin, but Jason Todd is Robin. And then he's already trained up. He fights small crimes, and then next year Jason Todd becomes a stronger Robin and fights bigger crimes, and then the year after finds Tim Drake. Tim Drake is inspired by Batman, so he's trained. He trains by himself because he's a big fan of Robins and Batmans. So he's already like pretty good at martial arts. But Batman sees him and would also, of course, train him a little bit, but he's already there. And then he would be Robin for a little bit. The next year, he's even more trained up, and then he would be full-on Robin and like fight big crimes. So Tim Drake had a shortcut. He didn't need to train as hard to fight big crimes because he already knew. So Tim Drake. And then if you're gonna do the female one, of course, that would be a thing. It'd be a similar situation, of course. I think the female one also knew how to fight pretty well. So 2 years. So Dick Grayson 2 years. Jason Todd 2 years. Tim Drake 2 years. And then female Robin 2 years. And then Damien Wayne 2 years. So it's 10 years. So 10 years from 19 or 20, it would be 30 or 29. And then Damien Wayne shows up when he's 30, right? And then he's training him when he's when Batman's 30, and Damien Wayne is 10. And then from there, it would be 10 years from Dick Grayson being 10 in the beginning. So Dick Grayson being 10 in the beginning means all those 10 years, then boom. Right? Does that make sense? Because Dick Grayson being 10 years old already in the beginning means 10 years has passed. So that means Dick Grayson would be 20, and then Batman would be 30, and then so on and so forth. It would be 2 years from then. So Jason Todd would be 18 or something, right? The one thing I didn't understand was he says, so it was future DC action 1, 2, 3, 7. He says that all of Robins were 10 years apart, which doesn't make sense to me because the whole idea of Dick Grayson and Jason Todd were they're very close in age, and in my perspective, how I said it out was Dick Grayson and Jason Todd are 2 years apart. It makes sense because the dynamic duo movie that's coming out pretty soon because they just announced it. It's Dick Grayson and Jason Todd. If they're 10 years apart, then that movie's not going to be that interesting. It's about a dynamic duo. They should be close to being equal. So, that's my thoughts. And yeah, that was a skit.